And I'm going to ask everybody, please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, tonight we have various budgets we're going to be hearing presentations on, make notes on, ask questions about. We're not going to make any adjustments to them tonight. Tonight is just to hear what's being asked for. And we're going to start with the treasurer, Pam.
I guess we refer to the screen there. So this is exactly the same way I presented my budget last year. I went over just the things that were changed. So this is the first page of the changes. This is our part-time, we call her deputy treasurer. This is Pam Merrill. I have to tell you, she's worth her weight in gold. She's just absolutely wonderful. So for that, we're going to give her $1. We're going to give her $1.79 increase for the year.
Hope she don't spend it all in one place.
Well, I don't know. She lives in Farmington, so that means you need to spend it.
Yeah.
It's like right across the street from where she lives. Okay. The next line is the treasurer's salary. These two lines have been increased only by the 1.7, which is the COLA.
Right.
And also, the next two lines, the FICA and the Medicare, reflect those changes of the 1.7.
Okay.
Next line is supplies, and that is up because we need to.
Next line is training.
Well, she's just doing the ones that increased. Yeah, the ones that
Is that what
changed.
you want to do, Mike, or what would you like to do, Mike?
No, it's fine, go ahead,
Okay.
continue, sorry.
Hi, Cindy. The major increase here is to update software.
Okay.
The next line is the mileage. This is increased because as of January 1st of 2016, we're going to have a 57-cent per mile line there. And that's all the lines that have increases in my budget.
Is that what IRS is doing, 57 cents?
It was an email that we got when we did budget.
Okay,
So we voted
okay.
on it, yeah.
Yep. Okay. Okay, any questions, anybody, or either on the board or from the audience? Not hearing any. Thanks.
It's like an auction. On.
Yep. Thanks, Pam.
You're welcome.
So we're gonna move it around so we get Michelle.
No, you don't do it. I just have to be off at 8. That's all.
Okay.
She wants to just see the main debate,
Not the first.
Ah, I got you. Okay, so planning board next.
Well, that was good. Thank you, Rich. What that cost me?
Let's find the page.
We have just 5 items. This is our full-time salary, which is the clerk, Dana. She is actually a decrease because we were paying Kim 32, and next year Dana will get the 31.7, so we have a decrease in the full-time salary.
Okay,
Part-time salary is showing an increase with a 1.7 COLA and a 2% merit. That's myself.
okay,
Membership dues, we increased by 300 as we have a 3% increase in membership from the New Hampshire health officers, New Hampshire building officials, the ICC, and I'm expecting a code change through the state next year to upgrade our code book, so this will bring us up to 300.
so those are the only changes.
Well, we added $50 to miscellaneous, only in honor of Bob Cernak.
Okay,
Our total increase is 308.
all right, thank you, Brian.
You're welcome.
And I'm going to ask, and I meant to do this with Pam, I'm just gonna make this announcement, the previous presentation for the treasurer was our treasurer Pam Arnold, and the one for planning board was Brian Boyers. I'm going to ask from here forward if I could state your name so people watching as well just hear a voice and not know who it is. So. Okay, thank you, Brian. Now we got planning and code department.
There's no change in that at all. These are the only changes in planning and codes.
You just did planning
We
code.
got planning board and planning and code.
Right, we didn't do planning board, we did planning code.
All right,
There
well,
was no change in the planning board.
yeah, planning board remained exactly as it was at 1250. Okay, next we got zoning board.
You're up, Lou.
There's absolutely no
Okay,
changes.
can you state
Bruce
your name?
Snyder.
Thank you.
ZBA, there's no changes.
One second here. I'm having a hard time finding ZBA in this thing.
in the back.
The very last
Very,
one.
oh, very
In
last.
the back,
thing.
yeah.
You put them in alphabetical order? Thank you. That makes sense.
You gotta flip it.
Yeah.
No,
Next one.
So ZBA, we're at $1,085
Correct.
still. Okay. No changes. Thank you, Lou.
You're welcome.
Conservation Commission.
Steve Bennett, Conservation Commission. We are, I think that the Conservation Commission is in a position where we are now doing real work and we need a real budget because we're having to farm out a lot of professional services for planning. The item that has had the least change is the water testing. That's been going on for a while. But we are a proactive board, and we are taking on the job of producing and upgrading ordinances that fulfill the wishes of the townspeople. The townspeople, as shown by the recent poll that was done, are very supportive of having development follow a path that's provides a high ecological quality. And so good quality of the water and good quality of the environment in general. So as part of that, we're redoing some ordinances and we're having Stratford Regional Planning Commission do it. So the 2,500 is for some of that work. Right now, we're having them work on the groundwater protection ordinance. There's another $2,500 for the update of the master plan. The vision statement and the natural resource inventory is actually a pretty, well, the vision statement is not particularly technical. That pretty much states the desire of the town to have a form of development that is acceptable and that improves the quality of life and maintains the rural character of the town. Part of that is paying attention to the existing natural resources. So a significant part of that, of the master plan, is a natural resource inventory. The one that was done in the past is really not very readable. And there have been complaints about it, they're entirely valid. So we're having Stratford Regional Planning update that. They agree that it's not been well done. They will produce something that's readable, and that is some of the cost. I want to point out that the Conservation Commission has a conservation fund. Strictly speaking, the conservation fund is for the purpose of conservation projects, that is, saving land in the town, and not for this kind of work. So that is why we are requesting that we have a real budget so that we can do this kind of proactive planning. We would like other boards to participate in this planning. We don't want to really be doing it and driving it ourselves, but at the moment, that's pretty much how it's going. Okay, so that's the budget request on that line. So we've reduced the need for office supplies because we just haven't needed to use any. So we're zeroing it. Membership and dues, we're decreasing by $325. The 2016 request, 600, is the real amount that we're going to pay. Next. The miscellaneous budget, although we did just vote on spending it this year, we've eliminated. This last one is another big one. There have been conservation easements taken by the town in the past, and they were taken by the, presumably, well, definitely by the planning board. We don't actually know how they were done because we weren't here when they were done. And for those of you who aren't aware of the history of conservation easements, the legal background for this stuff was only established in the 1970s. It's a relatively new area of law, and nobody knew what they were doing. These early easements are very poorly done. And as a result, we are having violations, and we are having to pursue legal action against some of those violations, which I can't discuss in detail because it is ongoing litigation. However, it is very expensive, and we can expect some of this to continue, and we can expect new incidences of it. Because of this, we want to be able to plan for that. Right now, we're absorbing those costs out of the conservation fund. Probably not a really good use of the conservation fund, might not even be legal. But at any rate, we are requesting a budget line of $5,000 per year right now to help with that expense. It really doesn't solve the problem because that's kind of a drop in the bucket compared to the actual cost of this litigation. So what we really need to do is we need a fund like the fund for equipment that the highway department has and the police department has, so that we can build up a reserve. And so that when these things happen, which hopefully won't happen often, we will have money in the budget to pay for it, because this has the capacity to completely drain the conservation fund. So I know it sounds like a big budget line because you're not used to it coming from a committee like the Conservation Commission, but it's in fact a pretty minimal expense compared to what we can actually expect to do. The Conservation Fund, the history of how it's built up is that the Conservation Commission gets 50% of the land use change tax that comes into the town. Statewide, there is a sort of a de facto history that money which comes from land that's essentially taken out of current use, so it's taken out of one conservation status for development, should be somehow returned to the purpose of conservation, and that's why it's donated to the conservation fund, in our case 50%. Many towns donate 100%, a few towns do nothing, but it's very common that all this money goes towards the conservation fund, and it really should go to conservation projects, saving land, going to people in town who want to decrease the value of the land by making it undevelopable and offsetting their costs and taking care of all the legal and other administrative costs that are involved in that process. So that's what the fund should be. It really shouldn't be a legal defense fund. So as such, we really kind of need a funding mechanism for this kind of event. So that's basically that. So it's a whopping big increase. I apologize, but I think this reflects kind of a new reality in the town. We have some boards that are doing real work and that we hope will have real effects, like the Economic Development Commission, and they need budgets. Thank you.
Any questions, anyone? Mike, Andy, anyone in the audience?
No.
Thanks, Steve.
Sure.
Next, we got economic development.
The segment. Eric Knapp, Economic Development Committee. I'll only go over the changes, which is easy because our previous budget was 0, so everything here is a change. There are only 2 line items that we're asking for. The largest of the 2 is for $2,500 for the UNH Cooperative Extension Business Retention and Expansion Program. This is a program run by UNHCE that does a community reach out to businesses. They help discover the businesses and communicate with them and get their needs in an attempt to foster a community where the businesses in the town are working together, and it prevents businesses from leaving for reasons that could have been corrected. We've had several good businesses leave recently, and it's hurt the town a lot. So as an economic development committee, not only trying to bring new businesses in, but first and foremost, we need a program in place to listen to the businesses that we do have so that we can prevent other businesses from just disappearing on us. We've been put on a wait list for 2016 so that this work can begin, but it obviously does depend on having the funds, and it's $2,500. The additional line item is for economic development and outreach. We've requested an additional $1,000, which would just be an operational budget that could be used for additional outreach, help with advertising, doing mailers, supporting the existing community and helping to reach out to new businesses. There are several programs, again, matching grants. There was a lot of matching grants that somebody will bring to the committee this great idea, and we have to turn it down because it's a matching grant and you can't match $0. So again, to echo what Steve said, we have groups in the town that are now doing real work, and in order to get that real work done, we do need a real budget. So the total budget expectation is $3,500. My final slide is just a quick overview of some of what we would actually get for that $2,500. The UNHCE program is extremely well thought out. It's a vetted program that's been used by many communities. It helps to demonstrate to the local businesses that the community appreciates them. It helps them solve their problems. It increases their ability to compete. It establishes a strategic plan for economic development, and it builds the community capacity to sustain growth. It is a multi-step process that involves outreach, and it also involves training the economic development committees that we can do more of this work ourselves moving forward.
Okay.
That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. Can I make a suggestion? Not just you, but anybody that's new in the budget process, any and all backup material you have, like that slide there, it shows, have it ready for the budget committee as a handout so they can have it. That goes a long ways when they see something like that. Thank you. Talking about budget committee, they're up next.
Hey, Bob Carrier. I'm budgeting 21 meetings at $65, which equals to $1,365. I'm also budgeting for 3 public hearings at $175 each, which brings that to $525. The total budget I have is $1,890. And that's pretty much it.
Okay. Any questions, anyone? Thank you, Bob. Welfare.
So Rachel wasn't able to be here this evening.
Okay.
No, I'm gonna present it for her. So the first slide represents the 1.7 COLA increase in teaching merit.
Okay.
1.8% salary.
That's based on 25 hours.
Yes.
Okay.
Line 240 shows a decrease of $100. She doesn't need 200, she only wants 100.
Okay.
Line 461, electrical assistance has decreased by $1,000 down to $11,000. This is the electrical line item that she uses to assist people with their electricity needs. She has assessed each utility line, and this is what she's come up with, a slight decrease.
All right.
no change on that one, so that can be skipped.
Okay.
Next, Rich. Thanks. Line 464, rent payments, $3,000 decrease, new assessment of welfare need on rental assistance. Line 465, food, that's decreased by $1,000, new assessment of need.
Okay.
Line 466, medical assistance, that has decreased by $1,000 due to an assessment of the need.
Okay.
Line 620, office supplies, that has decreased by $100, basically on usage compared to last year's usage.
Okay.
You skip that one, that's the same. Skip that one. Mileage, line 840, that has decreased by $100. Number of workshops and seminars have decreased. That's the same, that can be skipped. That's it.
All right, so she had a total decrease of over $5,000.
Yes, you did.
Yeah. Any questions, anyone? Board? Audience?
This is the kind of budget I want to see.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, put it in the library.
Increase mine a bit.
What's that? Was that air? Come on.
No, she did a very good job.
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you, Liz. Town clerk, tax collector. We'll do that one at 8:05.
No, please. So, my name is Michelle Beauchamp. I'm just going to go over the lines that have increases or decreases. So I have part-time salary, which is an increase. It includes the 1.7% COLA and the possible 2% merit, and then an additional third employee that would work 1 day a week.
Okay.
The next line is the salary elected. That is an increase that reflects the 1.7% COLA and possible 2% merit.
Okay.
The next line is the FICA, which also includes the 1.7% COLA, the 2% possible merit, and the additional staff.
Right.
Medicare, also the same thing as FICA. It has the 1.7% COLA, 2% possible merit, and the additional staff.
Okay.
Training line has decreased because 2 of the employees are completely, unless there's new training that's coming out, but they're completely trained.
Okay.
Next line is the registry of deeds. That's an increase. Last year, we'd asked for 500 originally. I'd gone before the budget committee and asked for 750, I think was the increase that we asked for, but it didn't happen. I think
Okay.
it was just an oversight. So this year, we are requesting $800, and that's for the increased liens that we're doing, the
Right.
deeding that we're doing.
Right.
Professional services, this is my big increase this year. It includes $11,703 that we had put in the budget for the records management downstairs.
Right.
We'd said to go
Right.
ahead and put it all in my budget. It was more than the 11,700, but I have enough in my budget left over, I think, at the end of the year that will cover the rest.
Okay.
I'm waiting for questions on this one. No?
Yeah. So that was 11,000 change for that, but you got a just under $13,000 increase.
Oh, we have 4 elections. We have 4 elections coming up
Oh, for
in
professional.
2016.
Okay. All right.
And we only had budgeted for 2 this year.
Okay.
Equipment maintenance, that's a decrease from 500 to 250. We've not budgeting for the school portion. I'm now sending the bill to them and they pay directly.
Okay.
Equipment line is a decrease because we had a donation of a dehumidifier. Thank you, Mr. Gray.
Okay.
Mileage is a huge decrease from 2,400 to 500, and that's because we're using the town vehicle for deposits, post office conferences, and training. I did want to leave something in there just in case someone else
We should, yeah,
You
it
know,
needs to.
uses it, that I have something.
How's that working out, by the way?
It's awesome. I can't park it, but
You'll learn.
it's less wear and tear on my car.
You'll learn.
Less tires rotating, less
Yeah.
oil changes. I love it.
Good job, Liz.
Yep.
So you're saying we have to do some driver instruction then?
I cannot park that thing. I have to have 3 spaces. Not that I take up all 3, but to turn into it, I need to have room. So my total increase for my budget this year is $13,907.83, and of course, the bulk of that is that records management.
Right, right. Good. Any questions, anyone? Yes,
I just have one.
state your name for the
Dennis
recording.
Wing. Just
Dennis
regarding
Wing.
Regarding the records management. Why is that a line item versus a warrant article? Isn't that one purchase?
What's that?
Isn't that a single purchase?
One-time purchase?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Could be.
yeah, we could do it the other way, one article, cap reserve or whatever.
Up to you. I'll give you the full amount if you want to go that way. I believe it was like 13,000.
I would certainly look at that, would help the budget, I think, a little bit. Yeah.
Make my budget
And-
great.
Yeah, and that is, you know, that's a good point, it is a one-time purchase, it's not an ongoing budget item. So, Mr. Brown, state your name.
Larry Brown. Presuming that it becomes a warrant article, or even presuming it's not, the specifications of what the town requires will be so carefully written that only a supplier supplying exactly what the town requests can be successful in a bid. Yes?
Very much so.
Wasn't there a maintenance program associated with that, Michelle?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
Wasn't there a maintenance, some kind of maintenance associated with that?
Be
Ongoing.
ongoing?
Yeah.
Yes, we can handle, we can take that over. They'll supply, if a company comes in, they'll usually supply you with a database that
Right.
you can maintain.
Yeah, and, I mean, there may be, and that's something to look at in the future, and whatever that number is, that can go into the budget if it's ongoing. And it gets to that point, but, yeah. So, okay. So, yeah, if you could supply us with that information,
I
that
think
may
you
be.
have it already. When he came in and did your presentation, he emailed it to,
Yeah, I'm
or
sure.
dropped it off.
Okay.
I may have it in the email, I'll probably be able to forward it.
Yeah, if you can forward it again, that'd be good.
Sure,
All right, thanks, Michelle.
you're welcome.
Any other questions, anyone? Okay. Up next, our moderator's not here, so we'll skip over that one. Sewer Department, Dale.
Dale Sprague, wastewater department. I tried to, I was trying to get you a zero-line budget, but a couple of things crept into it. I think you know about both of them. Obviously, electricity is a fairly large budget item for the wastewater department budget. Well, okay, she's on, I'm sorry. Dana threw this in. This was very, I think it was like $20, this line. It was
Contract
for,
service, okay.
Avatar contract and operator contract. It was the difference between what I budgeted last year, what you gave me for salary versus what I budgeted this year. It's just the math. It was like $20 difference. That's all in that line item. So it was very insignificant. It really wasn't. It's not a planned increase. It's just the way the math worked out. The water. I'm still trying to get a handle on the water bill. It's running like $248, $257. So I just said, I might as well call it $250 a quarter and round it off to $1,000. So it's $20. So it wasn't really wasn't anything. The next two, these ones here were the anticipated Eversource 6% rate increase, and I was asked to put that in there so that I was going to do a zero budget at 12.5, but the 750 brings it up to the 13,250. So
Okay.
that's why that was in there. And we just had the discussions here recently on the burn security, basically adding $111 a quarter, $444 a year to that particular line item for the alarm and monitoring for the wastewater facility. So other than that, all my lines were zero increase from last year, so.
All right, so that's under $2,000 increase. That's not bad. It's $1,000 something. Any questions, anyone? Not hearing any? Thank you, Dale.
Okay, thank you.
Assessing. Ms. Wallingford.
Kathy Wallingford. The first line item is going to be the salary, which it does have the 1.7 COLA and the possible 2% merit increase.
Okay.
My next will be training. I actually have decreased this. I have yet this year used any training. I'm hoping maybe these fall months there'll be a class available that I can attend. Beginning of the year was very hectic. But keeping that in mind, I dropped it down. Last year, for the registry, again, we have another decrease. In 2015, we created line items which my department never had. So we were doing estimates. We haven't used as much as I thought we was going to, so I've decreased it. Okay, because the need, even though we have been doing a lot of different documentations that the department wasn't doing in the past with the auctions and the tax deeding and things like that, that I come into it. I still think we can work with $100 in there.
Okay.
Legal notices, because 2014 was a reval year. 2015, we're finishing up different things from the reval for noticing. Again, I've dropped it down because I do think I am going to have an easier year as far as costs for public, any kind of public notices or legal requirements that way.
All right.
The contracted services, I have talked with our contracted assessor. We've come up with this figure, which is a $1,000 decrease from 2015. Printing, again, I have decreased that by $150 for the 2016. Postage, I have decreased that, and possibly when I get further into the fall, when we get working a little tighter on the budgets, there is a possibility of still decreasing that. I still have another mailing. I want to make sure that I keep enough in there.
Yep.
So
Okay.
I've decreased it.
Supplies?
Supplies, again, I have decreased that down by $250 because I am done the bulk of some of the major expenses I have with a reval year and a certification year, which we were doing last year, this year, 2015. So again, I have decreased it. Mileage, since I didn't have a chance to, as of yet, do any training, and we do have the town car now, I have decreased that down to $75.
Okay.
Memberships and dues, again, I have decreased it. Miscellaneous, I keep that in there because I do like to have something, if I don't have the line item for it, to put it in there so I can create the line item I might need for the next budget.
Okay.
Which keeps everything clean. So I had a decrease for the 2016 budget of $3,968.
Very good.
Nice. Any questions, anyone? No? Thank you, Kathy. Next, we have library.
I know. What's your name?
Oh, my name is Betsy Baker. I'm the library director.
Thank you.
Okay, the salary part-time line is an increase with a potential 2% merit and 1.7 COLA.
Okay.
As is, the next couple of slides are the FICA and
Right.
And then the electric, I just moved it up $1.
just to round up the number. We're actually doing okay on that.
Okay.
Even with the increase, or the anticipated increase. Same thing with the heat, we're right on the line, but for this year, but I think next year's per gallon costs are supposed to be lower.
Okay.
Office supplies, this is actual expenditure, probably a little over that line, but every year I've been going over that line.
Okay. Do you think the 1850 is going to be enough, or?
Well, I'll tell you honestly, Les has also been working the numbers, and he may come in and say, well, we'd like a little more.
Okay.
Postage, we have already paid to date as of the end of August, gone over what we budgeted. I put in 35, and that's just in anticipation of the postal increase.
Okay.
Mileage and travel, the $35 increase reflects the new mileage approved by you all.
Right.
Membership and dues, the increase of $110 based on what's actually spent in 2015.
Okay. That's,
All right, so basically we're looking at a 2.54% increase over 2015.
okay.
Good job.
Any questions, anyone? Board, audience? No? Okay. Thank you, Betsy.
You're welcome.
Recreation.
Sorry, my apologies to everybody. Karen Brown, I do not have slides up, but I will do my best to convey what I have. All right, so the first increase will be to the full-time salary line to reflect the 1.7 COLA and the 2% merit increase as it goes through. Also for the part-time salary line, I'm requesting an additional 5 hours for my assistant to go from 15 hours to 20 hours a week. And this is only for 9 months out of the year because the other 3 months her salary line comes out of my recreation revolving account, out of the beach funds and my Camp 3 funds. I put in the electric line increase of 6% as requested. I also increased the telephone line to 3%. I've changed the plan that I was using. Prior to this year, I didn't have data on my phone. I could not receive emails and such while I was out off-site, so now I do. The total budget is going from $48,910.78 to $52,915.96, which is a total change of $4,500.18.
No. $4,005.18.
Did I read it right? $4,005.18, sorry.
Just want to make sure you get the right number up there.
Yeah, I do, I have it, I just read it wrong, sorry.
Yep, nope, that's fine. Any questions, anyone? Board, audience? No? Thank you, Karen.
You're welcome.
Supervisors of the checklist.
Supervisors of the checklist will be changing. Okay. I have the 2016 supervisor checklist. We'll be covering
All right,
three.
state your name again.
Oh, Karen Brown, chairman of
Thank you.
the supervisors of the checklist. There'll be an increase in the budget of the elected salary, which includes 3 supervisors. Because in 2016, we have 3 set elections. We have the presidential primary, the town meeting, and then the general election. And I've also included one budget just for the 3 supervisors for a special election as we're going to have next week that wasn't budgeted for. So this year, we're gonna budget for that extra one. And I've increased the maintenance hours to 120 hours, hopefully to cover all the additional hours that's gonna be included in maintaining the checklist, running the checklist histories, and doing all the different things that's gonna happen. Presidential elections, we usually increase our voters by, I think the last one was for over 900 voters, so we have to be able to process all those new voters, put their information in, track the history. So I think we can do it within that budget.
Okay.
It shows a difference of $2,144 that will be increasing.
Any questions, anyone? And just so everybody knows, that is the only change in the budget, is the, that line.
Yes.
Any questions, board, audience? Not hearing any? Thank you, Karen.
Welcome.
Trustees of the trust fund.
Again, Karen Brown, Chairman. That will be just level funded. There are no increases at all in that line, in that budget.
Okay. All right. Any questions? Last one we got for tonight is contingency and bonding. And I'm assuming that our town administrator will address that.
Yes. Okay, let's see, the line 541 is a brand new line item in this budget. This is the annual fire truck payment. It's a bond payment and it is no longer in the fire department budget. It's been put into the contingency and bonding budget, which is the proper price for it.
Okay.
And all the other lines remain the same.
All right. And that is this year, the payment number 4 of 7 is what
2016
will be 4 of 7.
Yeah.
Okay. And that payment amount is $40,909.
Yes.
Questions, anyone? See a hand over there. I can't see a body attached to it. Oh, there it is. Steve.
Sorry, I came late, but I had my commitments, but if it's already been covered, I apologize, but I'm curious to know what's being done with the fuel savings that we'll have this year for oil and gas and everything else, which, oil has dropped at least $1.50 since last winter, so. I thought, as I recall, last year we were tied into a contract which was significantly higher than the going rate, and I wonder if we got either a better deal or we're gonna go in the market this year and save like the average citizen.
I believe Liz has already negotiated a better deal with our existing supplier.
Yes, and we were able to get the oil price last year decreased lower than the contract price.
Oh, good.
Yeah, which helped.
And I think she did the same thing again this year.
Got it even, I just don't recall the rate off the top of my head.
You don't know what the rate is this year?
No, I have it in my office. I just don't recall it off the top of my head, but it's a decent rate and it's for a 1-year contract.
Okay, well, right now you can get $1.88, the average citizen is getting $1.88, so if you didn't get under $2, it's not a good deal. But it isn't gonna go up this year.
Thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
You know, if we have time, I mean, I could do a couple more of my budgets if you want, that are scheduled for next week.
You just want to steal a spotlight, don't you?
No, don't. It's totally up to you.
Yeah, and why not? If we can knock them out, I mean, it's up to the board. If the board wants to.
No, it's fine.
Maybe outside appropriations?
Good night, gentlemen.
Have a good night,
Good
Brian.
night, Brian.
Good night.
Remember to sit in the tree stand.
Don't break
Good
it.
night. Good night, Brian. Tom. Eric. You try and get Tom? Okay, outside appropriations then.
Okay, these are the annual requests, for a donation from the various nonprofit organizations. And, Stratford Cap has increased up to 8,550. You have backup too for all of these.
Okay,
The next line, line 351, Homemakers Health Services, has increased up to $2,374. Last year, there were two separate organizations. A Safe Place was one of them, and Sexual Assault Support Services. They have now merged
Okay.
together into one.
all right.
So there's a, line 352 is the combination of both. And with both of their requests combined together, that comes up to 1,800.
Were they both, did they both receive something last year, or?
Yes.
Yeah, they did, okay. So it just shows one here,
If you look in the
the backup.
2015 column, yeah. The
Well,
next-
2015 column shows $500. Was
Yeah.
that to cover both?
No,
They
that
just-
was just for Sexual Assault Support Services. If you go down to line 363,
Place.
A Safe Place,
325, okay,
right.
gotcha.
and that was a decrease
Right.
from their request
Right.
last year, but, so the next line is line 353, AIDS Response Seacoast. That shows an increase of $100 up to a total of 500. The next line has remained the same. So there's the next. Line 362, the American Red Cross, they are asking for 500.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's 175 over last year.
Well, actually, last year they asked for $2,083.
Right, but they got $325.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And then the line 363, I already explained, to Safe
Yep.
Place, that's been lowered to 0.
Yep.
Line 364, CASA, that's been increased to $500. And line 366, Coast Bus Services, has decreased from 325 to 300. Their original request last year was 316.
Right.
It was increased by the selectmen. So those are their requests.
Okay. Any questions from the audience or the board? Mr. Brown? I see that queried look on your face.
Not germane.
You sure?
Too germane.
Floor is yours.
No, thank you.
Okay.
You want to do
Wow.
one more budget or not?
Yeah, it's up to the board. They want to do another one?
Late, jeez.
I can't see the clock.
It's only 6:30. You whizzed through them all.
Yeah, no.
Can we do world peace next?
World peace? Sure.
What are we doing?
Town administration? You guys want to tackle town administration tonight? It's totally up to you. Board? Mike? Yes? No? Okay. You're on.
Line 110, full-time salary, that has increased, that's a result, that line encompasses 2 full-time people. Myself and the full-time bookkeeper. So the increase represents a contractual increase for me and a 1.7 COLA and up to a 2% merit raise for the bookkeeper.
Yes.
Yeah. Line 120, part-time salary. That is for our part-time administrative assistant. That represents a 1.7 COLA and up to a 2% merit. FICA, of course, the next line, I should say. Line 220, FICA increases, as wages increase.
Mhm.
And then line 225, Medicare as well increases when you
right.
have that. Line 240, decreased. Training decreased down to $905. I removed 2 2 annual seminars that I normally attend. in
Okay.
that. Line 320, legal services, that's been increased up to $40,000. That was based on a discussion that the three of you, myself and legal counsel, had in regards to the amount that's budgeted normally for the legal services line. The attorney pointed out to us that it was low compared to other municipalities, and in 2014 we did overexpend. So I increased that from 32,000 to 40,000 based on need and recommendation.
Okay, so,
About 20 and 20.
right, so the retainer hasn't changed at all,
No.
it's just the additional, okay,
The additional litigation that we
Yeah.
have to pay for.
yep. Okay,
Let's see, the next one that changed was line 340, contract services. This one decreased by approximately $9,000. The biggest decrease in that was a change in how we handle payroll. We used to use ADP. We
Right.
no longer, they're good, but they're expensive.
Right.
And now we do payroll in-house using MuniSmart software, which is also compatible with our other software. And also in that line, in contract services, there was an increase in the annual audit.
okay.
Line 395, professional services. That has a slight increase. That has to do primarily with some of the website stuff you see listed in the backup.
Okay,
Web hosting, that had to be increased by $216. We were having some problems with emails that would have Adobe attachments to it. We weren't able to send them out, we weren't able to receive them, so that's been changed. And then there was also a $200 increase for the MetroCast business class line for internet speed.
mhm,
So it's all good things to help our system. Line 415, street lighting, that's increased due to the 6% increase next year.
right.
$620 supplies increased by approximately $200. Basically, the bulk of that $200 increase is for the AED units that we have here in the building for someone who goes into cardiac arrest. The battery in them has a 2-year lifespan, and you have to have new pads for children and adults every 2 years. So that's the bulk of that cost for that.
Okay,
Postage increased because we had an increase this year in postage that we were not aware of. So that consequently increased that line by $20. 741 equipment purchase. Our IT person has suggested that we budget $1,000 per year to replace a hard drive for whichever is the oldest hard drive in the town hall building. If you remember, I think it was last year, we were in dire straits. We had to replace, I think, 5 or 6
yes.
all in 1 year, and it wasn't budgeted for.
Well, it was pretty expensive too.
Yeah, we had to scramble around and find some money to do that, and people's computer systems were crashing and things like that. So he suggested, instead of doing a big hit like that once every 5 or 6 or 7 years, update one each year to keep it nice and even. That's what that increase is.
Okay,
Let's see.
the equipment lease,
Stay the same.
stayed the same? No, it did, okay, I was looking at one of my notes, sorry.
Yep.
Yep,
stay the
that'll be
same.
good.
The next line, 840 mileage and travel,
Yeah.
I decreased that because we now have a town hall vehicle that can be used. I decreased it to $50.
Okay,
Membership and dues, I didn't put an amount in this particular line item because I don't have the information yet from the New Hampshire Municipal Association for our annual dues. So I'm waiting. I won't get that for another month or two, same with all the insurances. So
okay.
You anticipated costing still around that amount?
3,437, it will probably be more.
3,807, yeah.
Yeah, 2,870.
That second bullet item on the backup, lists,
Yeah.
what we
Municipals,
currently
yeah.
pay.
Right.
Yeah, but that entire line item includes the Foster's newspaper that we get, it includes, 2 ANHPEHRA memberships, one for myself, one for the bookkeeper, it includes my New Hampshire Municipal Management Association annual dues and the New Hampshire Municipal Association dues for the town. You have to pay those dues if you're gonna be a member of the New Hampshire Municipal Association and get insurances from them.
Okay.
Line 860, employee functions, that decreased by $100 down to $200 due to lack of usage.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Everything else is the same.
Okay. So all in all, the total increase under $2,000 from reading this, right?
Well, it's gonna be more than that.
Yeah, well,
Over.
Because of
it'll be, yeah, because,
850.
right.
Yeah, about 2,500 maybe-ish. Well,
Well,
plus,
you get, yeah, then if you get 850,
plus,
950 municipal dues.
right, right, so,
Yeah, yeah, so it'll be a little bit, it'll be up a little bit.
yeah. a
All
little
right,
more.
we'll have to look at it again. Dennis?
Yeah,
Yes, that's fine. On 7/5/41 with the computers and the equipment maintenance,
Yep.
wouldn't it be more appropriate to have those computers on a capital reserve fund as opposed to line item?
Not really, something like that, no,
Even,
because it's an ongoing process.
the server is gonna be in the CIP.
okay.
Yeah, but the
Yeah.
individual computers, if one dies unexpectedly, we need to have it replaced.
I have no question.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Liz.
You're welcome.
Oh, Lou, I'm sorry.
Question?
I heard
Liz Snyder,
over there.
How many computers are in the town's
Town hall?
town hall and buildings that you're responsible for replacing?
I'm responsible for the town hall. I'm not responsible for the other buildings. So in the town hall, there's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, maybe 11, 10 or 11. How many
I'm
did
thinking
you-
11, I'm thinking 11
Yeah.
total, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Karen,
Not including the
Karen-
server.
Karen's too.
no.
No, it'd be, yeah,
So
it'd be
12,
13.
Yeah.
so a dozen, roughly, yeah.
And some are so interconnected to the others, like the building permits, the sewer billing,
Oh,
tax collecting.
and the one that the public uses too,
And the
the
public,
13.
right, and the public
So
one,
13.
they're also tied in, they have to, matter of fact, I just did updates, we just did a lot of corrections. Last year, it was put in the budget so that the assessing cards are gonna be on the website, which hopefully by the end of this week, they'll be there. But all the systems are tied in, so one goes down, it can cause problems.
Okay, I was just wondering how many are here.
Yeah.
I think it's safe to say 13,
Yeah, that's,
not including laptops.
there you go.
Okay. Everyone else, comments, questions? Yeah, get Larry first and.
Okay, Larry Brown, possibly following up on what Lou was saying, if there are a dozen, no manufacturer pun intended, but you're dealing with apples to apples to apples to apples, whereas the needs of the highway department, police department, or fire might be and aren't. So there is no advantage to having a single source vendor who could cut you 37 cents better because you're getting one more of what he's already selling. Is that fairly accurate?
I think the same vendor can handle them, it's just they configure them differently.
We can, yeah, okay.
Different
so
software.
It still would be possible to deal with a single vendor and be treated preferentially because of the number of purchase.
Well,
Maybe.
for the most part, yes, for most of the town. However, the police department and the fire department have very unique, confidential, intricate systems, and they have to. And they have their own special service providers and
Okay, good.
maintenance IT people that would handle theirs. And the library is on, they have Apple computers, which is different from ours, but our particular vendor could handle it if they chose to go, with him. But they're governed by the trustees, as you know, because you're one of them. So they can use whoever they want. So, yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Larry. Tom?
Thomas McDougal, you said, I think, roughly 13, 14 computers, and do I remember you right saying replacing one hard drive a year is what
Yes.
you recommended?
Yeah.
Should we maybe think about replacing 2 or 3? But I'm thinking that's 13 years, 13 years that other, your oldest computer.
I mean, I went by his recommendation. I know the software is updated more frequently versus the hardware. And I do have a budget line for certain pieces of hardware that need updating, keyboard, screen,
Yeah.
whatever's needed.
Yeah, I'm just thinking that if the rationale for replacing the hard drives on a rolling basis like that is because you don't want them to die unexpectedly and have, massive trouble.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to think about replacing more than just one a year and budget for, 3, 4 a year. I almost hate this being on the budget committee saying, maybe we need to increase that number, but, maybe to get use of it, we should increase it.
Something to think about.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yes.
One thing to keep in mind, though, we did replace 6. We have 6 new ones on site now, so we'll be looking to replace over the period of time another, 6 or 7. So it's not like we're starting out with 13 on their last
Old.
lane, because we just did update the server as well as, I think it was 6 new units.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I mean, something definitely to think about, just keep in mind, at some point possibly integrate, put that into the capital improvement plan
That would be
at
nice
some level.
if it eventually could
Yeah.
be added. It's a little late in the game right now.
Oh, it is,
but
and it's,
maybe
there's other things
later.
they're working on right now, but I'm saying at some future date, just start adding,
Yeah.
something like that. Any other comments, questions? Not hearing any?
Tom, I'll say. I just want to say that I think overall, you guys did a good job tonight. I think the budget's fair. I just want to keep in mind that it's going to be a tough year. So if there's anything you can help out.
There's still work to do.
Yeah.
Oh, there's still a lot of work to do, but I think the department's heads so far have done a good job. And so moving forward, if we can, do a little bit better job.
When do you think we'll be meeting with the budget committee? Do we have a time frame?
October.
In October?
Yeah. No dates yet.
Second
but-
week, isn't it? Second? No.
Well,
I think it is.
we have to make sure that everything is approved by
Right.
you guys in September before they start scheduling.
Right.
Yeah. As soon as I know, I'll send an email out.
Okay, well, just because, like I said, I'm looking for a few other things that I know that I got to, spend out of my line items, and I could possibly increase a couple of my line items a little bit further.
Will we be meeting with you again? Or will you just be reviewing our revised, updated budgets?
We will be reviewing them, and it might not be a bad idea to have them go back in once we do that.
Because you're going to hopefully be approving them
Yeah.
on the 28th.
So probably be a bad idea, once we review them, to have you come back in and, you know, kick the numbers back and forth and come to a mutual agreement.
Because I just want to say, it's going to be a tough year, and we all know that anyways. So, just to see if we can save some money here, and I mean, you've done a good job. Thanks.
Thank you, everyone.
We had something come up today where we have to have a quick non-public. It's not on the agenda, but there was an emergency, non-public had to address, so